If your team is missing revenue targets, blowing deadlines, or watching productivity slide quarter after quarter, it's not that leadership training failed, your system did. Most leaders treat training like a bandage. They send managers to a workshop after a KPI drop, margins tighten, or forecasts turn ugly, and then act surprised when nothing changes. It's like repainting the walls while the foundation is cracking. Here's the hard truth. If leadership training isn't moving revenue, output, and accountability metrics, it's not training, it's theater. And theater doesn't fix businesses. What I see over and over isn't a lack of training, it's a lack of installation. Companies send managers to training, they sit in a room, hear smart ideas, take notes, nod, and think, we should do that. Then Monday hits, inbox explodes, calendars fill wall to wall. Targets don't pause for good intentions. And without a system forcing those new behaviors into daily routines, managers slide back into old habits, not because they're lazy, but because the environment pulls them there. Executives stare at dashboards, waiting for numbers to turn green. Managers run from meeting to meeting, putting out fires. Employees try to hit moving targets that were never clearly drawn. Everyone is running, no one is steering. Leadership demands results. The system rewards chaos, productivity stalls, strong performance quietly disengage, and the company keeps buying impressive sounding training that never connects to how work actually gets done. That gap between what the managers learn and what the system enforces is where money leaks out, not in dramatic crashes, but in slow, steady drips. Missed forecast, rework, and creeping turnover. Before anyone calls it a culture problem, the balance sheet already has. I learned what real leadership systems look like long before corporate offices. After high school, I joined the United States Marine Corps, and here's what they understand. Leadership isn't an event, it's infrastructure. Every promotion comes with structured development, but the real training isn't confined to classrooms. It lives in daily operations. You practice leadership the same way athletes practice fundamentals, constantly under pressure with immediate feedback. You don't talk about ownership, you carry it. Leadership there isn't optional, it's built into the environment like gravity. Later, in working with companies, the contrast was impossible to ignore. Managers attend a seminar, walk out energized, and return to an operating system that rewards the exact same habits as before. It's like installing new software on hardware that refuses to run it. The Marines demonstrate a principle most companies still miss. Leadership development only works when the system reinforces it. Daily routines, accountability, and responsibility are engineered to build leaders, not just inform them. And that design shows up in execution, in reliability, in results that you can predict. This is where most organizations lose the thread. Onboarding leadership habits and performance systems aren't separate initiatives. They're parts of one operating system. When one component slips, the strain spreads everywhere else. You might not notice it immediately, but you feel it in friction. Slower decisions, repeated mistakes, conversations that never quite land. A lot of my work is helping companies step back and map out where those breakdowns actually live before they throw another program at the problem, because the visible issue is rarely the real one. The problem isn't missing information, it's organizations refusing to build systems that reinforce what training teaches. Most leadership programs fail because they're treated as events, not operational requirements. Managers learn frameworks and techniques, then return to a workplace that runs exactly the same way. Nothing in the machinery changes. No routines shift, no reporting lines adjust, no expectations are rebuilt. Managers follow the signals the environment sends, and environments speak louder than seminars. If the system rewards speed over clarity, conversations get rushed. If firefighting earns praise, coaching disappears. Gradually, the training fades like chalk in the rain. This isn't a motivation issue, it's architecture. And when leadership assumes implementation is happening, small execution gaps compound, standards blur, accountability softens, inconsistent performance becomes normal. By the time someone asks what went wrong, underperformance already feels familiar. Training didn't fail, the system never carried it. If you want leadership training to move real metrics, don't start with another seminar. Start by wiring reinforcement into the structure. First, hardwire training into your daily routines. Every concept, coaching, conversations, team check ins, planning rhythms needs to have a fixed place on the calendar, visible and non negotiable, because whatever isn't scheduled gets sacrificed when pressure rises. Consistency beats enthusiasm every time. Second, build reinforcement into oversight. Senior leaders should examine how managers apply training, not just attendance sheets. Sit in on meetings, review performance conversations, tie leadership behavior directly to evaluations. What gets inspected gets sustained. Third, redesign the environment to reward the behavior that you want. Systems overpower intention. If short term speed earns applause, long term leadership practices get abandoned. Align incentives and reporting with the habits you're trying to build. Make the right behavior easier than the wrong one. Otherwise, you're asking managers to fight the current every day. Most won't, not from lack of care, but from structural resistance. When leadership weakens, the business absorbs the shock. Productivity slows like a machine running without lubrication. Morale thins. High performers detach. Managers spend their energy managing friction instead of driving output. Eventually, the numbers reflect what people already feel: missed targets, unstable forecasts, narrowing margins. Leadership problems don't stay contained, they echo through every operational layer. If you can't clearly see how onboarding leadership behavior and performance systems generate these outcomes, you end up treating systems while the underlying mechanism keeps running. Real improvement starts with seeing the system as it actually behaves, not the version described in a slide deck. Without clarity, every new initiative is a temporary patch on a structural crack, just like painting the walls in a house whose foundation is cracked. If you're accountable for results, guessing isn't a strategy. Reach out, my email's in the description. I'll help you pinpoint where your organization is stuck and what adjustments will actually move the numbers. Onboarding, leadership, performance. Every month you operate without clarity, the system compounds confusion. And compound interest works both ways. Ignore it long enough, and the cost shows up in revenue, turnover, and lost momentum. Before spending another dollar on training, pause and look closely. Are your leaders actively shaping results every day, or waiting for the next seminar to rescue a system that hasn't been fixed? Every missed target and disengaged employee is a signal. The question is whether you're reading it. Examine your onboarding, leadership, and performance processes. Where are they drifting? Where have the standards quietly softened? Share what you're seeing. Let's talk plainly about what's working and what isn't. Like the video and subscribe if you want more direct conversations about building leadership that produces measurable results.